Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Happy Monday right after the holidays. I hope everybody had a great holiday and, you got a ton of turkey, got completely full, had a good time to sit down, relax a bit, and are ready to pound out these next few weeks of open enrollment. I know with everything going on, this holiday specifically, Thanksgiving, it's more of a traditional downtime for open enrollment. This is usually where we slow just a bit right before we get up for our big final push. That being said, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk a little bit about cross-selling today and why that's important and a few tips that we can do. And again, if you can walk away with one thing from this, it's completely worth your time. It's because if you do it now, then it's one of those things you don't have to worry about doing cleanup later. A good Abraham Lincoln quote that I absolutely love is, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. It's one of the things I know when I'm working with a lot of my new agents is that they say, you know what, Dan, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get them the plans that they absolutely need, and then I'm going to go through and I'm going to finish up the sale and do the supplements a few days later or right after open enrollment. Absolutely a horrible idea, just to let you know. What you want to do is you want to do it right the first time, or you really don't want to waste your time doing it at all, because what is going to happen is there's going to be an agent who comes around, talks to your client, because your client's going to have that gap, fit the product perfect, and you're going to lose everything. So what we're going to talk about today is just a few quick tips to going through and increasing your cross sale. So happy Motivation Monday, everybody. If this is your first Motivation Monday, just to let you know, the whole point is that we get you off the phone in 15 to 30 minutes with you walking away with one or two new pieces of advice. What we do, and here's our setup for the new people there, is we go through a tip of the week. We take a look at what our trends are as far as sales go, and it's open enrollment. So it's pretty easy. Everything's pretty happy. Then we take a look at our sales leaders, which we had some phenomenal sales leaders happening, and then our sales technique again, and that is going to be 5 quick tips to increasing your cross sale. So taking a look at the tip of the week before, well, 2 weeks ago, because right now in open enrollment, we are only doing Motivation Monday every other week. So our next one is the 11th of December. Tip of the week last week is about the minimum essential coverage plan out there. So for clients who want to avoid the ACA penalties, it's about $70 a month, and it does provide them MEC coverage. So they receive 63 wellness and preventative services, 67 if they are female. It's a really nifty little plan that you can bundle on top of things. So if your client is sitting there saying, you know what, I don't want a short-term because I'm really worried about this penalty or the supposed penalty or what's going to happen with it, not a problem. You have this in your back pocket. If you are not contracted with it, the contracting is just ridiculously easy. Please call agency services, get yourself up and running with that. It's just a nice thing to add on. We are one of the very few areas that can actually offer this to our clients. We worked really hard the last few years making sure that we could get this. Please go out and use it. If you do have any questions as well, just call agency services. We've made sure that everybody's up and running. I know when Tammy brought this up a few weeks ago, it became really, really popular. Okay, let's take a look. So the tip of the week for this upcoming week, if you guys have not been reading your email, I will tell you this actually interrupted my Thanksgiving day a little bit. It's about the plan enhancer changes. So what's going on with that NatGen plan enhancer? They sent out a marketing blast. I don't know who all actually got it though, sadly. So they sent out a marketing blast saying that that cancer, heart, stroke rider and that sickness hospitalization rider, that they raised the eligibility from 59 up to 64. So clients can keep those riders now to 65, which is all great. The AME, they still can keep up to 75, nothing changed there. But the specific things is that the cancer, heart, stroke, and sickness hospitalization riders, they did raise the eligibility. So if you're one of those people who was emailing me over the weekend when all the offices were closed and nobody could really get back, this is what happened. So please take a look at it. So let's take a look at what's going on as far as our trends go. The trends are all pretty good right now. So you're not going to be too shocked on what I'm throwing up here on the board. So we had an increase in short-term medical. Oh, gasp, I know, right? No real change in fixed benefit. We do have our running rate as far as that go. Keep in mind, these numbers do not include the Thanksgiving week because those numbers have not been run yet. So it is for the times before, and we're trying to piece together since we're doing these every other week. So we had a really healthy increase in short-term medical. I know Tammy mentioned that we hit our running rate, and we have, and our running rate, we're just having this slight growth on it. We have a running rate as far as it goes with our fixed benefit products as well. One of the things to keep in mind during open enrollment is when we are talking about adding supplements, you can add these fixed benefits as supplements, and that is pretty big. If you're talking to a client who's going to have that large exposure when they are going to the hospital, you know what, you can add on one of those. We'll just say the Foundation Health, their client can get $70 for going to the doctor, $2,000 a day for going into the hospital, and guess what? It's going to help pay for their max out of pocket. If you are not thinking about adding fixed benefits as a supplement, stop, look through the brochure and take a look. They make really great supplements. One of the hints I'm going to go through today is going to show you plans on ways that you can do that. Medicare, we all know AAP, you know what, we're going through that now till December 7th, so that has a healthy growth rate. We're doing pretty good with that. I think we're doing pretty great with it. It's Humana as far as it goes with the Advantage and the prescription for the most part, and then as far as the supplements go, it would be UHC. Pretty healthy growth there in the accident sector, which is good because we've talked so much about accident. Why do you add accident plans? That's one they're going to use. So pretty healthy increase in the accident sales, especially with that NatGen plan enhancer, and I'll tell you with all the questions I got, I will expect that to keep growing. Good increase there in critical illness, and then of course a good increase in dental because, hey, it's open enrollment and people want it. Let's jump to our shout outs. So first we are with limited benefit. No shock. Good job, Katya. As always, Andrew, you are taking in silver there, and Jake Gordon, good job taking in bronze. Our shout outs as far as it goes with short-term medical, good job again. Katya, nothing shocking there. Kelly, congratulations on taking in the silver, and then the bronze goes to William Kelly. So the Kellys are kind of rocking it there for second and third. Okay, for our Medicare shout outs. So we have Maureen, they're taking in gold. Congratulations, Maureen. Antoinette, they're taking in silver. And then Heather taking in bronze, so kudos. So now we're gonna go through, and again, our goal is to get you off the phone here in 15 to 30 minutes so you can get back to selling, especially during open enrollment. Is gonna be some tips here just for going through and actually increasing your cross-sell. So first off, our very first tip. This seems kind of stupid, but I'll tell you, when I go through and I call customers after agents are done selling, this is usually one of the biggest gaps. Do they understand what their exposure is? If you are talking to a client, do they actually walk away understanding that there is going to be $7,350? You can't add supplements into a client's plan if they don't understand what the need is, right? You are sitting there, you go, you know what, I work in insurance every day. I absolutely see this. I know what is going on. There is this area where your clients don't have protection, and you know this. But if you're sitting there talking to a client going, okay, so I can get you this plan, and keep in mind, when they say health insurance, this is one of the things that they're used to. You know, you say, yeah, I can get you your health insurance plan, and in their head, that's actually everything wrapped into one, but you use that word. It's something they're familiar with, so they put it in a box themselves. And then you said, but, you know, on top of that, I can get you this accident, this critical illness, this dental. No, they don't get it. To them that says, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to nickel and dime you. One of the things that people lack when it comes to walking away, especially during open enrollment, is that they don't understand what the big picture is, because us as agents want to get them off the phone so I can just go through and call my next client and make another sale. When's the best time to make a sale? Right after you made one, right? That's what we want to do during open enrollment. Number one tip is, do they understand the big picture? How can you make sure that they do? Have them repeat it back to you. I know that sounds kind of stupid, kind of scary, but hey, to actually do supplements, your clients need to understand. Have your client repeat it back to you. Do they understand what is going on? What is going to be their exposure if they get into an accident? Give that one a shot. It's one of my personal favorites because when your client has to say to you, it's going to be $7,350 if I break my leg, you will hear them stop. That is when you're actually going to open their mind. When is the best time that you can actually get somebody to understand something is when they're slightly stressed. Right, talking to you, you're a sales insurance agent, right? That is stressful for them. But if you can get them to see the big picture and stress themselves just a little bit, here's a hint for you. They're going to stop, they're going to think, and their mind's going to be open, and you can do it. Hint number two, going through these, is going to be mix them in with a conversation, okay? If you are not doing this, or if you haven't even tried to do it, and I hear this from agents, I was actually talking to an agent last month who has been doing this since before Obama has been in office. So keep around. He's been around for a little bit. He goes, yeah, absolutely, weave him in the conversation because his supplement sales were absolutely abysmal. I'm like, okay, let me sit down next to you. Let's actually listen to this. So he went through and he's, you know, it's just kind of part of his personality. It's segmented. Hey, here's one. Here's your one policy. Okay, and next, here's your next policy. Okay, and next, and here's your next policy. In your client's head, they say, okay, so that's going to be 1 price, 2 price, 3 price, 4 price. They can take them off. Weave them into a whole conversation. Have them be part of the whole picture, kind of like what we talked about before. Have them repeat it back. Hey, how much is this really going to cost? But by weaving them in, they're going to listen. How do you weave them in? Tell them a story about themselves. Another way to get your client to listen is saying, hey, guess what? Earlier you told me. So let's go through this. So, hey, you know what, John? So earlier you said, you know, last year you painted a house and you fell, and that was a pretty big bill, right? So let's say you're going through again, you're painting your house, you fall off, you break your hip, and that bill is, let's just say $100,000 just because of math, okay? Here's how your plan would work. You pay the first $5,000 and then we would split the bill 80% for the insurance company, 20% to you until you pay another $2,350. So total that'd be $7,350. Well, with this plan, what it would actually do is it would take any accident like that and it would bring your bill down to $250 instead. So instead of paying $7,350, it's actually only going to be $250. How does that sound? Okay. Do fact finding with beforehand, so you can just do the presentation and close. Do fact finding. How did they use these policies in the past? Have they ever gotten into an accident? Do they know somebody who has? You need to tell a story that relates to them, because if you just say, hey, so you know what? Me, myself as an agent, I got injured. You should care about me and what I'm talking about. They don't care. No offense. Love us all to death. They don't care. They care about themselves. Make it about them. Earlier, you told me, and weave the whole conversation in. If you're talking about critical illness, great. Because this is what happens with an accident with a critical illness. You're really fortunate because with this policy, you're actually going to get a $100,000 check if you get diagnosed with any of these critical illnesses, unless there are these, and then you start talking about the little stipulations. Tie them as part of a story. Weave them all together. Don't worry. You are going to tell them that they are billed separately. You are not doing anything sketchy. You are trying to just give them the full picture. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's one that I know myself and Tammy's actually a huge fan of. This one is called Good, Better, Best. So we have an agent, if you want to increase your cross-sell, her cross-sell is absolutely phenomenal. And we're a big fan of hers. What she does, we asked her, like, how are you doing? How are you doing so great? She goes, what I do is I actually have a good, better, best philosophy. When I talk to my clients, I go, hey, I have an economy package, a middle of the road package, and a platinum package. She does limit her sales for the most part to one state. So if you're going to take a look at some of these carriers, these are very state specific. So just to let you know that. She goes with the economy package. She has a Nat Gen short term. She's like, I had the plan enhancer. I had Starmount. She's a big fan of that. Their dental and vision for her state. The Nat Gen critical illness, and then she has a prescription card. Okay. She goes, that's the economy package, and she presents them the price. She does a middle of the road, and you're going to notice that things get a little better. With her middle of the road, she actually adds in the foundation health policy there. Middle of the road and platinum is when she starts adding in those fixed benefit supplements as a supplement instead of as leading it. Give it a shot. For her, the nice thing is she'll talk about what these are going to do is when you get into the hospital, they're going to give you a cash benefit when you're in the hospital per service so you can actually afford to keep living. This is really important. She actually has this, and she will print it out. She will email it to the customer as well when they say, hey, email something to me. She doesn't do brochures. That's a waste of everyone's time. What she does is she actually emails them out just this. And they respond back like, you know what? I was going to go with the economy, but let's really do the middle of the road. Nobody really wants to buy the economy if they don't have to, right? For her, this just helps her make sure that she's giving her clients the best benefit possible. Take a look at it. Build out your own packages. What's going to be great in your state? What is economically friendly? What is financially stable for your clients? What carriers do you know pay their claims great? What ones can you stand behind? She stands behind all these carriers. Okay. So she's a great agent. I have another phenomenal agent who is really good at actually talking to clients, figuring out what they have and what their gaps are, even if they have bought from somebody else. And when he likes to do, I know I've talked about this one in the past, give this one a shot for me sometime. When your client goes, you know what, I already bought insurance, I'm good. Great, how's your dental? You want to increase your cross-sell, you want to actually increase your supplements. Why do we want to increase supplements? Their retention's ridiculously strong and they're the ones that pay, right? These are the ones your clients actually are going to use. How's your dental? It's a great conversation starter. It's just a way that he can get in, jump into that conversation, get them moving, because they'll be like, you know what, actually I don't have dental. Or, you know what, I really don't know. Well, let's go find out what your dental plan details are. There's a lot of different options and we can do some comparisons for you. So it's also a good move. We have another phenomenal agent. What he likes to do is he actually likes to ask them about it right after he closes the sale. It's a personal thing of his. I like to do it before because I like to play at that, make sure I get everything within their budget. He goes, you know what, for me it's easy because after I get them through and I already have them have a sale, it's easy just to push them a little bit and say, hey, you know what, how's your dental? And they go, ooh, we haven't talked about that. Okay, great. So for about $20, $25 a month, I can actually add a dental policy. How would that sound to you? Okay, and the last one, last quick hint, since we went through, we have good, better, best. We have just add them, make them see that full conversation, tell them a story, have them repeat it back, just add them. If you have not just started adding them, because I know one of the things that makes it really uncomfortable is just adding them. is really just out of our comfort zone, try it. Try explaining it. What's the worst that is ever going to happen? They say no. That's okay. You can take a no as graciously as you can take a yes. You just can't take a maybe, right? Zig Ziglar, come on, everyone. Okay, so just add them. Here's a big hint for you. Some people say, you know what, my problem is that when I'm going through, I'm selling supplements. There's 4 supplements. I get a call from my client later on saying, hey, you know what, my bill got drafted on this. What the heck is coming out of my Chase credit card? I don't get it. Here's a huge hint. When you're done, you go through your presentation, we close them down, we have the application, we're giving them how everything is going to be drafted because we want to be that transparent agent. Have them grab a pen and paper, list out each policy or what is going to say that is going to be on their bank draft and the cost. Have them put it on their fridge. Okay, this is, trust me, have them put them on their fridge because what's going to happen is they're going to, get their bank draft, they're going to see what is drafted out, they're still going to call you. It doesn't matter. You literally told them, hey, write this on your fridge. It doesn't matter. They're still going to call you and say, gotcha, John. So do me a favor. Can you go to your fridge and find that piece of paper that you and I talked about last month? They can go to their fridge and they can find it. It's actually a huge retention increase because you said, hey, guess what, John? I was being transparent with you. I told you the truth. Nothing shady is going on, and we knew this was going to happen. So that hint, have them grab a pen and paper at the very end, list out what their bank draft is going to look like so you can be 100% upfront with them and have them put them on their fridge, okay? So keep in mind, right now, we are doing Motivation Mondays every other week, so there will not be one next Monday, but the following Monday, the 11th, we will absolutely get that one up and going for you. So if you do have any questions beforehand, you want to learn more about the MEC, anything about what we covered today, you can, of course, email training@hcpsales.com. If you're interested in getting more carriers like that MEC one, please call Agency Services. They are phenomenal. And we can end here with a pretty good quote. So a dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. So again, if you're not doing it, just add it. Use those little tips, like write it down, have them repeat it back, get them in that little stress zone so they can understand what the picture is. Give them those packages. If you're super uncomfortable with it, give them the good, better, best, and you should be good to set. I hope everybody has a great few weeks of selling. I know we just need to push it out here through the 15th, so keep your head down, work hard. If you need anything, reach out. That is what we're here for, and if not, have a great Monday.